Reg going first.
All right.
That's probably gonna be as quick as he can. Corvus Glaive.
Field Psychic, spin it down to a question mark.
Oh,
Poxwalker. I think he's gonna do this.
I'm gonna pay one for
Then he's gonna Clayface it in, and then buy a Corvus Glaive.
that's so
Nailed
gross.
it.
That's so gross.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
That Clayface just enables so much shenanigans, dude.
Well, and that Poxwalker, especially with the Course Glaive mindset, is instantly one that gives him something to send back to the card without even having to buy a pizza.
Yes.
I like pizza.
So he's already in round one. He's already purchased what his win con is and an enabler for the win con.
Yep.
So
Typhoid Mary here, right? If he can reach for it.
I think so.
I think he kind of has.
Typhoid Mary is a 4-cost. No, wait. Yeah,
4-cost
crossover.
So Bolt and Mask.
Does he have the energy to do it?
He has a sidekick that he can spin down.
If he uses the Intellect Devour Global to bring it back, yes.
She can't be targeted by Global. So she would stop. Would she stop Infiltrate? Would she stop Infiltrate? She would, I think.
She would not. It would not stop Infiltrate.
Opposing character's ability, but that's a keyword. I'm trying to think of.
You guys want to jump in on that?
Ryan, can you confirm
What is the question, gentlemen?
Does Black Widow agent, does she stop Infiltrate?
She doesn't, because it's a keyword ability.
Let me double check, but I do not believe she does. So
because Infiltrate does 1 damage, right? When they trigger the character. So wouldn't it knock down by 1? But
well, hold it. Give me a second to pull up the card text specifically here.
While Black Widow's active, reduce damage from opposing character's ability by 1. Your opponents can't target Black Widow with global abilities.
So if you target Black Widow with the Infiltrate damage, it would get reduced by 1. Yes.
No.
Or no, sorry. No. Black Widow would reduce the damage by 1 from Infiltrate.
From each character die, right?
Yes.
Okay, not Angela's. Okay. So alrighty. Okay. Then we will.
So that means Ronathan may have to purchase Typhoid Mary just to be able to enable his stuff.
Let's go ahead and
Reroll the sidekick. Ooh.
Okay.
Kind of makes it easier.
We'll spend 4 for a Typhoid Mary.
Yep.
I mean, there honestly wasn't any need to re-roll that because he could have just used the Fielded and the Intellect Devour Global to fix it.
Yeah. To be fair, though, he probably is just used to trying to get it honestly on his own, and because he doesn't have Intellect Devour, so it's just he's used to it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but it's also one of those things. Try to always remember what your opponent has brought that is available to you.
Mm-hmm.
Walk with Elias.
Yeah.
Walk with Elias.
No, that's the other guy.
I keep looking at the other teams.
Oh, he does not have Villainous Pact. All right, so he does have Counter Strike. That doesn't help him none.
I'm definitely gonna Clayface in this guy to that.
Okay, so he's not going to get off to quite as a fast start as he did last game without that Villainous Pact or a way to put his dice back in his bag.
Yeah. Kind of the worst day of his life.
Could be.
Then I'm going to walk with Elias for 2.
And then 2 sidekicks.
Strike for 1.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
He will have a slightly thinner bag.
Yeah, just trying to do the best job he can at increasing his chances of getting that Course Glaive next turn. Bag
full of sidekicks. That's like a popular dice tower, right? I feel like I've seen multiple people have it. I
Yeah,
think Joe has that
it-
dice tower, right?
I don't know if Joe has it. I know a couple of guys at Docs had it. It was one that was I can't remember the Broken Token company. That's one of their dice towers that they sell.
Gotcha.
It's a very inexpensive, very high quality dice tower. So yeah, a lot of people do have it. It's very nice. You know, travels very well and whatnot. So yeah, we've seen quite a bit of that.
Cool.
So
All right.
Ronathan, perfect. It instead of purchasing anything this turn, perfectly sets up his bag next turn to get that Typhoid Mary.
Yep.
I mean, that's what you got to do in this type of situation because nothing that you're going to buy is going to make a difference.
Oh, no,
And
Corvus
it's
Glaive did not
gonna
roll high.
make your bag harder to get that Typhoid Mary. So
Yeah.
in lieu of trying to keep it on his win con. Oh, Reg misses the Corvus Glaive, so
Boom, 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 boom.
uses it to purchase a new Corvus.
When in doubt, just purchase Corvus.
Oh, no, he's taking that back real fast.
When in doubt, Corvus it out.
I don't think that's how the saying goes.
A hard buy.
He's going for
on
Thor.
Thor.
Thor
Ooh.
super rare. Field of
All
sidekick.
right. Thor super rare. Let's read that card off. The Thor super rare says, while Thor is active, when you field a character die, deal 2 damage to target character die or player. It also has a bolt that says, pay a bolt once per turn. The next action die you purchase this turn costs 2 less.
Yeah. So it allows him, to purchase other than the pizza for 1, effectively, and increases the damage when he fields the Corvus Glaive, because you're going to get the damage from the Thor and then the damage from Corvus Glaive sending a die back to its card.
Yep.
So Ronathan has he has Typhoid Mary. He needs to decide right now if he's going to go defensive with her or enable his offense.
Keep all this except for one sidekick, and I'll reroll it.
Roll 1 sidekick.
Yeah. I think he can go offensive here, honestly.
What's he naming here?
Typhoid Mary on our level 1 side, and we will name Black Widow.
So he's going to name Black Widow to keep his
Alright.
win con alive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now it's a race.
Yep.
Let's name Black Widow. Field the sidekick.
The bad thing about that is as soon as he gets that Thor out,
It
he
doesn't
can
matter.
just ping it. He can
Yeah.
just ping the Typhoid Mary. and get it out of there.
Purchases a Gamora and a Yawning Portal.
The Gamora Crush. Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be a big difference for him, though, because I don't think Reg is going to care that his Black Widow is essentially out of the game now, because he could just go faster than him.
Yeah.
So at this point, the Black Widow just becomes a blocker,
Body.
Defense.
body in the field, or energy to enable more Chorus Glaives.
Yeah. There's
He
nothing
thinks
wrong with
Corvus
that.
Glaive time. He can buy a Corvus Glaive and walk with Elias here if he wanted to.
He's got to. He's got to walk with Elias at the very least, because his bag is going to be undeterminable of what he can pull out next. It's going to be quite a bit going in.
Buying a Corvus.
Yeah, but he wants the Corvus to,
All right, he smooths out to his draws, doing the walk with
All right.
Elias.
It looks like he's holding onto a bolt to activate the Scott Hall.
Scott Hall.
and what is the Scott Hall Global?
Scott
Is that the
Hall
force
says
attack?
pay a bolt. Yep, force attack. Target superstar die must attack. So he might be forcing.
So yeah, he
that,
could force the Typhoid Mary to attack and take the 1 damage.
Yep, and then he had to cycle through his entire bag to get back to it, which is a pretty good move.
Yep. Ronathan not happy with that anything. Rerolls it
No.
all.
He did not get it. Oh yeah, he did get it.
Yep. He
Double burst
bad
side.
reflection on that yawning portal. We couldn't tell what it was till his hand cast a shadow, but he did
Yep.
get it with the double burst. It looked like.
Are we sure he didn't use spells to get it to turn right?
It's possible. I don't
Anything
think
and
that's
everything
what
is
happened.
possible, but yeah, I
It's
think we've got
2020.
good video evidence to show that that's not what happened.
That's not the case.
Your evidence is it's 2020 that it could happen, Rob.
Hey,
It's a solid
2020.
argument.
Right at this point.
True.
Yawning portal and put it in my bag.
That's lit, son.
I will pay the bolt and force your Typhoid Mary.
Yep, exactly. Forcing the Typhoid Mary to attack.
Mm-hmm.
I got in trouble in high school because we went into like talking about Typhoid Mary and how she was the thing. I was like, so did they have Syphilis Sally and things like that, or is it just like they just totally just named this one person because they wanted to be mean to her? And she's like, get out of my classroom.
All right, we see the super rare Thor is being rolled here.
It
came up.
How expensive is he?
One
Yeah,
cost.
it's one cost to field, so
So
not
with
bad.
2 sidekicks, he's going to be able to bring back one and purchase a Course Glaive if he wants.
Or he can do 4 damage. Yeah, he was hoping for some sidekicks just to get a bunch of damage.
Well,
done.
with the Intellect Devour, he still has to field it before he can energy fix it. So he'd still do the damage.
Ah,
I'll feel the sidekick.
2 damage,
Yep. So I'm down to 18.
The other sidekick.
2 more damage, down to 16.
Wow.
Yeah, let's see if you can do that. That's okay.
Yeah, Intellect Devour, unlike the other energy fix, you have to field the character first, and then you're able to spin it back to fix it.
Gotcha.
So it either works perfectly with the super rare Thor. You still have to field it. You still trigger the damage.
Spin this down to a bolt.
That's a big meanie card, the Thor.
Gonna force some attacks.
It's a big cost. I mean, you're stretching to get the 6, but it's
Pizza time.
he's purchasing the pizza now, hoping to get the Course Glaive next round and not have to spend energy next round to purchase it.
So he's gonna attack. He's a 5.
Oh, swinging with the Thor for 5.
He forced him to attack.
Nice.
Yep.
You will knock him out. You will knock him out. Oh.
You're Nylander.
Oh.
Oh.
Nihilor KO.
He used the Nihilor Global to knock out his Thor instead of.
With potential to roll it again. That's a big brain move.
Well, it would have been KO'd as well, but it would have KO'd the 3 sidekick Ronathans, giving him additional dice this turn. So.
Makes sense.
So Ronathan was just trying to ramp himself,
Yep.
Ooh, good.
The rushes for
and Reg denied that.
Yep. So Ronathan gets rush triggers, which is why he's got 2 extra dice there.
That's pretty good. Rush is kind of like Swarm. I like it.
I like Rush better than Swarm because it doesn't have to be fielded character.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have a character field, and it triggers whenever you pull of a specific energy type.
Yeah.
So it works a lot faster, and you don't have to purchase multiple of the same character just to get that ramp.
For sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's more of an aggressive kind of ramp.
So in Golden Age, I am not looking forward to seeing a Bolt Lightning Ring Rush team.
There's an idea for Golden Age event, guys.
All right, so level 3 Typhoid Mary. This one is
That's true, Comics Mike. You're right. He could have chose to do all 3 damage to one sidekick die if he wanted to.
He could have, but he used his energy with the that moves the Typhoid Mary over to Thor.
Mm-hmm.
But again, using his own or using the Nihilor Global, he doesn't give his opponent any prep whatsoever. So
That's true. Yeah, I think Reg is playing really well, and he's putting Ronathan in defense mode, basically. He's reacting to everything that Reg is doing.
I would say that he's putting Ronathan in awkward positions to where it's like it doesn't have a clear, definitive path, whereas Reg always has a definitive path, always has a definitive thing he's doing, and it's just...
Well, Ronathan is having to pivot multiple times here to get around things.
Yeah.
Yep.
So did
Reg
some
took the
damage
4?
to Reg. Yep. He forced the Typhoid Mary to attack and took the 4.
I really like the way that Reg has been playing lately. He's been putting people in awkward positions, and I think that's a good way to play.
I mean, it's always one of those, forcing your opponent to make decisions, and specifically bad decisions is a great thing. So the more decisions you force them to make, the more often they're going to make bad ones.
Yeah. Putting him off the normal. Let's see.
I'm gonna return the pizza, so that's 2 damage to Ronathan.
Yeah.
Should be 4 because Typhoid's not there, and
Oh yeah, there it goes. You just did it.
yep.
He did a thing.
Reg is going to make a sidekick to trigger
So
2 more
that's
damage.
2 more damage.
Wow. And he could just KO his own character again if he's forced to attack. Reg kind of has this on a really hard lockdown.
I'll do a counter strike for 1. I will pass priority to you.
5-3 Thor.
So I'll attack with 5-3 Thor and a 2-1 Corvus Glaive.
Ooh.
So you're declaring attackers.
Yeah, those 2 I'll put with it. Yeah, so you said you wanted Thor to attack. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I'm attacking with the Corvus as well.
Yep. Then I'll take the 2 from Corvus.
Taking 2 from Corvus, blocking 3 with Thor.
So I'm down to 8.
So Ronathan's prepping 3.
Alrighty.
Yep.
This is a game, everybody.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's one of those things that maybe prepping a little bit too much there for Reg, and maybe saving something back to KO his own thing, and then prepping on or doing his other shenanigans on Ronathan's turn, like forcing something to attack. That might have been the better line, but I don't know.
At this point, Reg has 2 win cons available to him, so Ronathan doesn't have enough to stop both.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he'd rather, while he had the opportunity, do as much damage as possible to make the chance of him getting Alpha Strike possible.
Yeah.
Yep. Alright, so we got 2 sidekicks. 3 sidekicks.
3 sidekicks, 2 bolts, 3 bolts, a mask, and a shield.
Alright.
He can't seem to get into prep to what he needs without having to hold stuff back. And that's just Reg.
Gained a life with pizza.
Oh.
Yep. Use the pizza
First time
global.
I've seen pizza. Anyone use a pizza global? That's awesome. You know
Actually,
what? That could be the difference in the game.
I had a pickup match with Elliot that we did a Thor sealed constructed, and he ended up with pizza on there, and I got him down to like 3 life, and I could constantly do like 2 damage to him, but he'd constantly, be doing pizzas to spin himself back up, and I'd get him back down to 3 or 2, and he'd spin himself back up, and I'm like, okay, I'm about to just destroy this pizza. It's pissing me off.
I'm about to bust it wide open.
2 course glaives.
This could be a game.
Yeah, this.
Yeah.
Did you do the 1 damage to Reg?
Yeah.
I think you did.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so yeah, that's
If he can get the
4,
Thor, he's got the
6
game.
damage. Yeah. Ronathan is at 9. Oh,
That's game.
there he is. All right. So that's 4 damage.
He's down to 3.
Yep. Do 4
And he's
more
got a wide
damage.
enough field at this point. So
That's game though.
Yeah, that's game.
That's 4. That's
straight up.
-1. Wow. That was good, man. I like this little pizza team. It's awesome.
I like pizza.
Comics might
Yeah,
have
well,
some pizza. I could too, man.
having that Thor as a backup win con that also enables the Course Glaive win con further is just so nice.
That's going to wrap things up for us here in the CR Game Room. Check out our website, crgr.rocks, for all our latest info. There you'll find a link to help support us via Patreon. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Join our conversations on Discord. Be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for hanging out.